about that. I am trying to figure out what is going on. My live won't end. It put me over in a, I tried to pin a post, and it was the post for my join link, and it put me over into the join, and I couldn't get back to the live, and now it won't let me even end the live. I guess the live's going to have to end all on its own. So here we are, guys. Thank you for coming over. If somebody can post in the chat that we started a new live. I'm having some technical difficulties on this side. I got to be careful posting that link, because every time I do it, this happened to me once before for doing the exact same thing. But I didn't anticipate for that to do that, but it did. So I'm trying to end the live stream. It won't let me end the live stream on the channel. It doesn't even give me an end button. So I don't even know what to do. It's just going to keep running and running and running. So it is what it is. We're not going to waste too much time on this. If you guys, hey guys, sorry. I went to post my channel link to join as members, and it took me over to the join link, and it wouldn't let me exit out of it and get back here, and it wouldn't read. So we're just going to continue to go on. I did pause the video we were watching, so we're going to get back to that. There we are. Let me put it back up on the, there we go. I think I got to turn just ever so slightly. All right, so let me just back up just a little bit. We'll get back to it.
That pissed you off that we even asked.
Don't, somebody can go over there and make sure that people on the other stream know that that's frozen. We can't do anything with it until it shuts down on its own, and come over here. Thank you.
You know, what pisses me off is when the statement is out there. There was a thud. She asked him what, you know, he responded back. And moving on.
And around what time was that?
I'm not going to give you details as far as.
I mean, Katie gave details, but I just.
Well, guess what? That is Katie. I'm not giving you those kind of details.
No, she gave details publicly.
That is fine.
Okay.
Katie can give you that. I am not giving you that information.
What information is
And around what time was that?
Hold
on, let's go back to the actual question.
The statement is out there. There was a thud.
And
it's about the
feels like that you just are like, that pissed you off that we even asked that. You know,
what pisses me off is when the statement is out there. There was a thud. She asked him what, you know, he responded back, and moving on.
And around what time was that?
I'm not going to give you details as far as.
I mean, Katie gave details, but
Well, guess what? That is Katie.
So he won't give timing. He won't do anything. He's making the situation worse, in my opinion. He wants the tough questions, but doesn't want to answer them. Something that's already out there in the public. It just seems very deceptive. And sorry, it does.
I'm not giving you those kind of details.
No, she gave details publicly.
That is fine.
Okay.
Katie can give you that. I am not giving you that information. I will tell you this. It was between the time we were on the phone to the time we got off the phone. That's what I'll give you. That's it.
Has Sebastian ever left the house barefoot that you know of?
Has Sebastian gone outside of the house barefooted? Yes. Before, has he ran off? No.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's how you were asking it, but
no, I'm glad that's perfect. No, that's great. And again, I swear to you, Chris, we're not trying to.
Give me just a second. I forgot one thing I got to do. Sorry about that. I had to fix the. Sorry about that. I had to fix the talk to 20 minutes.
To be hostile. In fact, I've spoken on this live channel before and said, if Chris ever came here, we would treat him with total respect and honesty. And I really am trying to help, because I want people to get behind you and Katie, Chris, because I want people to help find Sebastian. And it's just such a bizarre thing. I mean,
it's a bizarre case. Yes, it very much so is.
And so Sebastian leaves, but he's not on anybody's camera. Is that what the police have said, or are you allowed to say?
I can't go into details on that, but here's what I will tell you that's public. Our subdivision is very dark.
Mm-hmm.
There's no street lights in the subdivision whatsoever. If you go online, Google it, whatever, you'll see that there's absolutely no street lights in the subdivision. None.
Right.
Is there a possibility that some cameras may not pick up somebody walking in front of them because how dark it is? Yes.
Okay. That would be the only thing that would make sense, really.
Right. So,
well, he even told me, remember when he told me that, like, even some detectives didn't show up on the cameras?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. That makes perfect sense then. Because that's been driving everybody crazy. But if it's so dark.
And I know, and it's hard for it, trust me, for everyone out there that, cameras will pick up and all this. No, I promise you, not all cameras have the best quality as, the stuff that you see on TV and, you see a demo of a camera in a store. It's different when you put it on a house and different elements. So,
Okay, so it was so dark that it is logical to conclude that the cameras that Sebastian would have walked by, did not pick him up. And that's something that is logical that people can accept. Absolutely. I think this is a good question. Did Sebastian ever have nightmares? Could he have had one that scared him so badly that he took off? Has he ever had bad nightmares?
He's had sleeping issues. He doesn't really sleep a lot. That's why he's been, but that's been his whole life. That's not just been like a segment. I believe Seth has even mentioned this before as well. The only time, I've seen a couple times where he slept really well, but that's when after a hard day of playing, if he's helped with outside work, but for the most part, he's had issues sleeping.
That's a big help in understanding this. Has he ever done anything like hid under a neighbor's car or anything like that?
Well, I'm going to say we have never seen anything like that. There's been somebody that has said something to that effect, but I'm not going to sit here and say for a fact, yes, he has.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't have an answer for that.
I got a question. I got one for you. Would you think it's possible that he could have left in the evenings on other nights, like at 1 a.m, and came back through the front door and nobody would have known? Like on other, let's say a dry run, for example. Like he got up in the middle of the night at 1, went out the front door, and then came back in, and nobody would have known, right? Because you don't have a camera, and he doesn't.
Not that I'm aware of. Not that Katie is aware of. I will say this, and this is for the record. I'm not going to tell you what he does and doesn't do at his father's house. Those are two separate households.
Okay.
Sebastian is one way at our house. He's a different way at his father's house.
Okay.
That is something that we've all had mutual respect on. All the parents together.
Can you answer, was he planning to go live with Seth?
Yes.
Okay. And was he excited about it?
No.
Okay.
At one point he was, but no.
Do you know why he changed, why he wasn't excited?
I believe that statement was much different in prior interviews when he was explaining Sebastian going to his dad's house. I think this is the only time we started hearing that there was a problem with him going to his father's house. But if I'm wrong about that, please send information to bullhornbetty@gmail.com.
Yes, because he was informed that he will be doing online schooling vice in-person school.
Okay. Was there a reason for that?
That's personal matters in my family that will not be discussed with.
Understood. and I respect that. Thank you. He was on medication. Did he get his medication changed recently?
When you say recently, can you
Thank you,
define
Margaret.
recently?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know, maybe within the last few months. I'm trying to think of something that maybe would have changed his behavior for some reason.
It's really hard to say yes or no to that, just because he goes and sees his doctors, and then in there they will talk about his medication and things if they want to change or if it needs to change.
Right.
But I mean, as far as I know, I'm not. I didn't see any difference, but.
And is it? And again, this is just something that people want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Is it common for you and Katie to talk as long as you did that night?
Sure.
Okay. Seth is here. I've asked him to join us. Insightful One, if Seth jumps on, can you please put him on the screen, because I can't because of my computer.
Right. I got it.
Thank you.
Have you guys seen the dog scent track? That because you actually showed it to me, right? Remember on the map, Chris? I don't know if you're interested in. It was kind of an interesting route up the street.
Well, and are you referring to the like day 1 through 4 dog tracks? Because some of those are.
Well, he had like a dog scent outside the front door and
Yeah.
sort of around by where the fixed light was on the flashlight, and then north, and then around to like a retention pond, something like that. Just short of it.
Stacy, I believe Seth is here.
Yeah, I got it.
Seth, I am so glad that you are here, my dear. Thank you very much. Seth, what would you like to say now?
I got a few questions to ask Chris.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You can. Yes, he can hear you.
Hey, Chris. So why did you texted me the other day about something I'd already sent Katie an email?
Say it one more time. All I heard was something about an email sent.
Why did you text me about an email I sent on Monday to Katie?
Because I didn't see the information in what you're referring to as Tony Mathis's phone number. I didn't see it. So that's why I asked for it.
I mean, come on, Chris. If we're going to work together, more than a week communication between the people that I'm sending stuff to you and Katie.
Okay, so hear me out. I told you.
Okay.
I told
Let's
you
not come
Seth,
into
we
a
will
house,
work
okay?
together. All right. I explained to you I'm willing to work with you. You asked me some questions in regard to this dog handler. You asked me questions in regards to going on a social media platform. You've asked me questions about hiring a PR person that will speak for all of us and keep everybody off of these platforms. That's what you asked. Now, if you think I'm not going to do my homework and dig into people and find out who they are first, you're crazy. Because I would expect you to do the exact same thing if I gave you a name.
Well, it seems awfully funny because all the information passed around, the man that they're referring to, Tony Mathis, was a crock of bullcrap. The man's reputation was put in the crapper because they chose to pass around a background of a 40-year-old black man as a 52-year-old, 53-year-old white male. You know, there's a difference. Yeah, they had the same initials in their name, but they were two totally different people. So I'm not sure what looking in the background he's referring to, if he's referring to his felons giving him bunk information or not. I'm unsure, but let's just be very clear. The information that was spread about Tony was false.
I don't know what's going on, but did that solve it? I hope.
Oh,
Seth?
is Seth gone? It looked like he.
Uh-oh. I think Seth. Wait, is this Seth? Did Seth jump off? Let's see. We've got me, Stacy.
Yeah. How about
It looks like you fell
I'll
off.
get off the panel. I'm sure that'll make a lot of people in the chat happy, but I just wanted,
Oh, stop it.
I just wanted to say that, you know, I understand what I've seen from the beginning is that there was sides chosen. Now I know you're saying because of this and because of that, but it was Seth good, Proudfoot's bad, and everybody has been in those camps, and they never really got a chance to breathe, and that's probably why Katie went to be with him, because she probably was scared
And I just want to remind everybody that was pre-Bullhorn Betty.
to stay at home by herself, giving
Yep.
these lunatics like JLR, et cetera, running around, chanting and screaming. It's
Oh, I agree. It's
That's
horrible.
what I think. Yeah.
Oh, who was the instigator of all that between them? Oh, got it. That's now flip-flopped. Yeah, got it.
So
It should not be that way.
that's just kind of where I'm coming from. I appreciate communicating with him. We've had nothing but good conversations, and that's it. I mean, that's all I can do. And I've never seen anything that made me go, God, ooh, that's, you know, it's weird. I mean, I don't know. I watched the same things you guys have. But anyways, yeah, see you later, guys out there.
Okay. See ya.
Take care, Greg.
Bye, Greg.
You know, see.
Does anybody know where Seth went?
I'm working on it.
Okay, thanks.
I do know, I think up in his area, he doesn't have like the greatest signal, because a lot of times when we talk, his
You know what?
phone, he will drop.
Do you want to ask him if he wants to call me rather than go on the internet? Just call me on the phone, and I can put him on, and it'll be a really, really strong signal. I mean, it'll sound really good.
Well, I think it's just like his cell signal up there is not the greatest.
Oh, it's his cell. Okay.
Yeah.
But if he wants to,
I mean, if he's on his cell phone, let me.
Heather, if you want to give him my number, and Chloe has it, feel free, and he can. If it's better for him to call me rather than to jump on.
I'm texting him.
Okay, we can do that. So, hey guys, I don't want to talk about other creators in chat, so let's not do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Agree.
yeah, let's just. I mean, I don't want to give them any.
Right. So let's get to our next question.
Okay, next question. Let me take a look at my notes. Yeah, because I just wrote some things down. Have you had? And I may have asked this and I forgot, Chris. My mind is sometimes mush. Have you had search dogs inside the house and outside?
Yes, ma'am, I had. Yes, I sure have.
And what did the dogs hit outside?
So, as you know, if anybody has followed Mr. Gray's, what he was talking about, the dog and the trail and the scent and the overlay on the picture. So, there anywhere from 13 to 18 different dogs have been involved in this search.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on day one, there was 5 dogs. 5. There's an audio dispatch tape that's been released. I don't know who released it. Whatever, I don't have it, but you'd have to dig it and find it. In that audio tape, you actually hear that the deputy sheriff does state that the dog hints toward a scent, and he takes over off to the retention pond and the construction site next door.
Okay.
Now, other dogs did the exact same thing.
Can you send it to me,
Now,
Lisa? Bullhorn Betty at
Am I going to say every
gmail.com.
single dog? No, but I do know of at least 3 dogs that went on the same scent trail, same path. The rest of the dogs, I'm not going to tell you that they are 100% honest and perfect and accurate, because honestly, dogs are only probably 25% reliable when it comes to a scent.
Okay.
Now, 8 days, I've had dogs in my house the first 8 days. In my house, outside my house, around my house, around the neighborhood.
That was pretty interesting. I just caught that. 8 days. 8 days. Day 8 was when the case took a turn, and they pulled back on the search efforts.
So, yeah.
So they've been there, and yeah, so they did, you're saying they did hit, and they all went to that pond.
No, I didn't say all that. I just told you I've had 13 to 18 dogs in my house and around my house.
Mm-hmm.
I told you 3 different dogs hit on the same path that go to that retention pond.
Right.
I'm
That's
not going
my-
to say that every other dog.
Not every dog, but some dogs hit. Okay.
Right. So, but I want this to be crystal clear.
Okay.
So when people say every dog, that is not the case. 3 dogs went on the same path.
Okay.
That is all that we have on that. The rest of these dogs go in different directions, but it's all unreliable.
Understood. We do have a question from Michelle. Chris, was Ellie able to go in and search the cave they said had collapsed about 10 feet in? I haven't heard this.
Okay, so Ken Widener is the EMA director for Sumner County. They called in all kinds of stuff, got layouts of where these caves were. I don't believe, and I'm not telling you by the gospel, I don't believe they were able to get into certain caves because they were not safe to enter. The one that she is referring to that collapsed, honestly, we know that the one collapsed, but we don't believe they had anything to it.
Got it. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get my notes. I was taking notes while we were talking. Let's see here. Hold on. So people have been asking, and I don't mean to sound insulting, but people are asking, are you searching? Are you putting up flyers? That's what they're asking.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, and here's why they're asking that question. No, you're not going to find pictures of us out there doing this because it's real simple. We, all 3 parents, initially were told in the beginning not to go out and search, that we needed to be available.
Actually, what Seth said on an interview to me is that they didn't want them in their search area, and why he decided to go out in his car and drive around searching, not getting into the areas where law enforcement were searching. That's what his understanding of it was, and why he left in his vehicle to go search for his son that day.
To talk to law enforcement.
Right.
Yeah.
Seth has been out there searching and doing his thing. He's had a bunch of people follow.
So why, if they were told not to search, then why is only one parent searching? So let's just go back and listen to that again.
It's real simple. We, all 3 parents, initially were told in the beginning not to go out and search, that we needed to be available to talk to law enforcement.
Right.
Yeah.
Seth has been out there searching and doing his thing. He's had a bunch of people following him. Whether or not he chose that or these people decided to do it on their own accord, that's not for me to say. But Katie and I, are not going to have some big, massive search party following us around with a bunch of people that are already threatened, death threats, by the way, to us.
Let me just ask, who believes that people that are physically out there to help search for this boy are the ones that are levying the threats on them? That doesn't make sense to me. They're not there to help, to threaten you. They're there to help. So I don't know if other people were threatening him at the time. I don't know. I wasn't in the case when the time frame he's referring to, but that statement sounds odd, because I doubt anybody that's out there boots on the ground trying to find this boy would be threatening anybody. Just my opinion. It seems like all the threats come from the keyboard warriors online.
I'm not doing that. If you were in my shoes, you'd do the same.
And I just want to remind everybody, he was in the military trained, and knows how to defend himself should something arise. And we all know that Tennessee is a open carry state. So I'm not really sure what the concern is about actually physically going out and searching, but I think he disputed his own statement, because he's saying he doesn't do it with a whole bunch of cameras and stuff, but there's nothing. And he's saying that the reason why he won't go out searching is because of these threats. So I don't know if one statement is canceling out the other. You'll have to decide for yourself.
thing. You listen to law enforcement. You do what they tell you to do. Yes, we're out there putting up signs. Yes, we're out there putting up flyers. Yes, we are searching.
Chris, I'm sorry. Did you just say you guys are getting death
was
threats?
Uncle Mike on his
Yes,
thank you,
we've
Pebbles? I
been
think
getting
Mom
death
did that
threats.
by accident.
And they have been reported to the TBI. Everything gets forwarded, screenshot, and sent straight to them.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, everyone, I have Seth on my phone, on my JVL speaker. Seth, I want to give you a chance to talk uninterrupted. So please, go ahead.
All right. Mainly, Chris, the communication needs to be a little bit more prompt. If I send you an email on Monday and Tuesday, I'm not willing to wait a week to get a response back. I mean, that's unacceptable when we're trying to find Sebastian, buddy.
I understand what you're saying. I respect that. But when it comes to you asking people to come into my house on my property, who I don't know Adam from Eve, and I really don't care what certification, who can vouch for these people, I don't care. I'm going to do exactly what I have always been doing. You send that to me, we're going to review it, and then we're going to send it to law enforcement. Let law enforcement go that route, and then when law enforcement comes in,
Hold on.
To be on your property.
Do you guys notice he refers everything to law enforcement, everything, but is on a panel? If he wanted to keep quiet, in my opinion, I feel like he could just stop going on panels, much like he has, but he's still dipping his hands into the water, so to speak, because he doesn't really want to answer the questions, but somehow feels obligated to interject on some person's live broadcast that he didn't like some of the commentary or how the commentary was going. I don't know. I've just got a lot of questions.
Hold on, Chris. Chris, hold on one second. Hold on. Seth, what did you say?
I said the person to be our spokesman, to speak for all three of us, doesn't need to be on your property.
Okay,
but
you're correct. You are very correct.
To him.
I have spoken to him.
When?
And I'm going to make this public. I am back working, and I have work hours. I also have to sleep, and unfortunately, I'm on the opposite schedule of you. So respect that. I will do what I can, as I can, when I can.
I'm sorry, Seth, go ahead.
When did you speak with him, Chris?
What does that got to do with finding Sebastian?
If he's going to be our spokesperson, I was just asking when you spoke with him.
Wow, just very, very deflective. Very deflective. I guess we're not supposed to talk about that, but how deflective.
I haven't come up with an answer yet. We've spoke with him. We told him we'll get back with him after we've done consideration and talk with law enforcement. We'll get back to it, and we'll let him know our decision.
So,
I know you're on board with that. I do. I mean, I know you're 1,000% on board with Mr. Mathis. I got that. I'm not taking that away from you.
So, Chris, I understand like every marriage is different and husband-wife aspect. You seem very protective of Katie and her having conversations with or without you. But like I said before you came on, I do believe that Katie is the one who, and I'm not saying it's because she knows what happened to Sebastian, but she was the last person that was with him. And so she does hold the most information, at least up until the point that he went missing.
What information do you think she holds?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Well, then do me a favor. Let's just get to it.
Okay.
Don't pour gravy on the mashed potatoes. Just serve the stuff up.
Chris, I'm really trying to be respectful, and this is a very.
I am too. So please just get to it.
Okay.
No,
so we would really love to hear from Katie about his body language that day. We've heard from others who are not necessarily good sources about his body language at the bowling alley and his body language here and there. And so we're just really trying to pick up on Sebastian's mood, because it could help us understand what led to him walking away off the front porch out the front door.
Well, that is something that if she decides to answer, that's on her. But what I know is, even on video, Sebastian was having a great day. He was in a great mood. He got to go to BJ's. He had a colossal popcorn. He hung out with family. He went and played video games at Strike and Spare. After that, he went and had dinner at Roadhouse, Texas Roadhouse. He ate his whole meal. Everything in the video, even the videos that Seth has seen, he doesn't show any negative signs of he's upset or anything like that. As far as we all know, Sebastian had a great day.
No, it sounds like a really great day. They did a lot. I was just curious, and
Good
like
morning,
I said,
Tony.
every relationship is different, and you're protective of Katie and who she communicates without you. I think that has been a little bit difficult.
But hold on a second. But for the record, Katie can speak when she so chooses. And she's done interviews without me.
No, I'm not talking about interviews.
But she spoke without me.
Okay.
I want to clear up something that Chris said about Sebastian going to live with Seth. And Chris, you may ask, what does this have to do with Sebastian missing? It's all part of the narrative. It could mean he ran away. And that is, Chris, did you not say that he was not looking forward to going to live with his father?
Yes, I did state that.
Seth, did you know this?
No.
Chris, do you want to elaborate?
And I'll tell you why.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will be glad to elaborate.
Become a question.
Hold on, Chris. Hold on. I'm sorry, Seth. Start over. And then Chris, we'll go to you. Seth, go ahead.
That I know why I was putting him in online school. He needed his therapy to actually have been started with ABA, so on and so forth, before I put him back into the situation, because he's not ready for certain things.
Okay. So he was going to go.
I'm not going to set my son up for failure. I want my son to succeed.
He was going to homeschool until he was ready to go back to regular school. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. And it's not really homeschool. It's just online school.
Okay. Online. Right. Online school. That's a better term. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said homeschool. Right. Online school. Totally different.
Really quick, Chris, the day that they had on Sunday with the spaghetti pancakes and bragging to family and BJ's and Texas Roadhouse and bowling and all of these, it sounds like the best day ever. Was that like a normal weekend for them, or was I don't know. Was that like their normal weekend?
Right. Well, do me a favor. Let's pause that question, because you just diverted away from what she asked, and let's clear this out.
Okay. Go ahead.
We
Chris.
want the facts. Let's get the facts straight.
Okay.
So yes, I did tell you Sebastian was not excited about going to his father's house because online school. Seth was aware of this because Seth stood in my house with me, Katie, and Sebastian in my kitchen and had this conversation where Seth asked his son about, you don't want to go to online school? And Sebastian's retort was, no, I don't. But I don't really care about playing tit for tat. I understand that this may be a reason why he wanted to run away, so to speak, if that's the case.
Right.
But
Wow, passing the buck that he ran away without shoes or any items, including money, food, or clothing, because he didn't want to go to online school. I don't know if that makes sense.
We're not going into this. We're not going to play this tit for tat on social media. We're not doing this.
Okay, Seth, go ahead.
Chris, unbeknownst to you, had already talked to Sebastian. He knew this wouldn't be a permanent thing. And me and him had already spoken.
Well, that right there's a conversation you should have had with Katie and myself about what your plans were.
I'm sorry, do you want?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
What Seth was saying is that if I had known the conversation that him and Sebastian had, then I would know the whole thing. But the downside is that's where Seth should have had that same conversation with me and Katie, and that didn't happen. But this goes right back to, here's the thing. If you're saying that because he didn't want to go live with his dad, he potentially ran away, is that a possibility? Sure, we'll put that out there.
Okay.
But quite honestly, what goes on between Seth, me, his mom, and our households is none of the public's business. If it had something to do with his disappearance, I would understand that, but it doesn't.
But my question would be, how would anybody know whether it has something to do with the disappearance until they look into it? Because let's face it, when we're investigating cases for our shows, we don't know who's being truthful and who's not being truthful until the information is fact found. And usually that's done publicly on our shows. So, again,
Well, we don't know that.
Well, I understand that. That's why we're making this clear.
And that's why I asked about his day, because
Let's
I didn't
go back
know.
to the day. Okay, go ahead.
No, okay. So, Chris, you don't know me very well. I have 2 decades of experience working with autistic children in different capacities. So I do understand they are all different. I do understand that day may have been very overstimulating for him. So that's why I was asking if that was a normal day for him. And if it wasn't, that just gives me more information that maybe he was very overstimulated that day.
Chris?
So one more time, I'm so sorry.
I was just saying, in my experience with autistic children, obviously they're all different. But if this was not a normal day for Sebastian on Sunday when he went and did all of these things, and it sounds like he was gone from home for a while, if this wasn't a normal day for him, would this have been an overstimulating day for him? Is this something normal? Does he normally go to BJ's and bowling and all of these things on a weekend? Or was this kind of like a special thing? And if it was a special thing, what caused it to be special? Was there an occasion?
If it was a special thing, a mother and a son bonding and just having a good time.
I'm not being ugly at all.
I'm not. I'm making the statement.
Is this a normal day for them on a weekend? For them to do
our days fluctuate. Monday through Friday, we're a working family, just like everybody else out there. And when the weekend comes, that's when you get a lot of stuff done. You go a lot of places, you do a lot of things. And a lot of times that's where, you go and spend time with your kids and do extra things. Sebastian's not in sports like most kids. So we don't spend ball time at the ballpark.
Okay, Mystic. Take care.
When Seth has Sebastian on the weekends, he goes and does fishing and things like that with Sebastian just as well. Seth works long hours. I work long hours.
And I'm not saying any of that is suspicious at all, Chris. I'm just asking if that was normal. Because if it wasn't normal and he was overstimulated, that could be a reason for him to have ran out of the house.
No. Okay. He was not overstimulated.
Okay, so that wasn't one of the possible reasons for him to leave.
Here's what I'll say. Everything is on the table. Nothing has been taken off the table, period. That's the same statement law enforcement has made. That's the same statement I'm going to tell you every single day in and day out.
Katie gave my son to your mother and father. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Say it one more time.
Do you not want to say that? But we can move on. So
No. I want to hear it.
There's a rumor out there, Chris, that your mom and your dad have Sebastian. It's been brought up to me.
Seth, you know darn good and well you got a question about my
I'm just asking.
You pick up the
Is
phone.
he taking somewhere to lead a boot camp or anything like that, and Katie just thought I wouldn't accept it?
I don't think Seth is being accusatory. I think he's just trying to clear up a bunch of BS that's been online.
Right, and I'm trying, and I'm telling you, if he's had this suspicion, he's got my mother's phone number. He can pick up the phone and call her. She is not afraid to answer.
No, I'm not saying you. I don't want to talk to your mom. I want to talk to you, and I want to talk to Katie.
Well, it's real simple, Seth.
To put it to the rest.
You have seen the video footage.
I think Seth was being absolutely respectful here. I think he was not being treated with the same respect he was giving, in my opinion.
Of Seth on Sunday. Don't tell me you hadn't. I know you have. You sat in the room with all the agents.
No, they didn't show me the video footage, buddy.
So you didn't see, you weren't sitting in a room with law enforcement, the district attorney, when they showed you a video, when you get
this defensive, I'm sorry, I've seen this so many times. Maybe we're not supposed to talk about it because we're not allowed to have an opinion or speak educatedly about, what we're seeing here. We're seeing a father trying to dance around and walk on eggshells to ask a man questions. And this man meeting him with nastiness, vitriol, and basically starting to scream at him for simply asking a question that this stepfather himself asked him to ask. It's just almost an oxymoron.
Proof of life, saying that you hadn't seen it with all the agents.
No, they didn't show me the video footage, buddy.
So you didn't see, you weren't sitting in a room with law enforcement, the district attorney, when they showed you a video, when you wanted proof of life, saying that you hadn't seen proof since Friday. When you've been at my house the first 3 damn days.
Chris, let Seth speak. Go ahead, Seth.
Chris, they showed me video proof of him coming out of Texas Roadhouse on Sunday.
On a Sunday night. Yeah, you're damn right.
Just Chris.
Seth, I got a problem with you sitting here making these accusations. Because if you got a problem with them, guess what?
He wasn't making accusations. He was asking a question based upon somebody else's accusations just to get it done and over with.
Let's watch it.
I think we're just trying to talk things out, and I don't even know if this should be public, honestly.
Same.
Okay, here's all the public knowledge you need on this deal. Law enforcement has talked to
He's talking to the father of the biological father that's much involved and loves his son very, very much. This is how he's speaking to the father. Let's listen.
Things out, and I don't even know if this should be public, honestly.
Same.
Okay, here's all the public knowledge you need on this deal. Law enforcement has talked to my parents, my whole family. Once again, the statement is true, what law enforcement says. Just because you hear a rumor doesn't make it true.
Chris,
I don't think he said it was true. I think he's just trying to clarify.
That's not clarifying. No, stop sitting here trying to defend his actions. Stop.
Okay.
The fact is, Chris, is I'm trying to squash the rumor. We're both here. Squashing the rumor.
Seth, there is no rumor. You know my parents were not with Katie on Sunday.
That's all I'm doing, Chris.
No, you're causing a problem because you know damn good and well where my parents were at their house on Sunday night. They weren't near Katie. They weren't near Sebastian. And if you got a problem, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call her. Be an adult. Be a responsible adult. And just call her.
Yeah, because you're showing
Chris.
such the adult behavior.
Can you hear me, Chris?
Oh, I can hear you.
Because all I'm hearing is anger and attitude from you. What I'm trying
And you should, Seth. You should. Because what you're doing is bullshit and you know it.
Okay, stop.
Okay,
People are
alright.
talking over each other.
Enough.
Seth, go, and then Chris, go. Please, Seth, and then Chris. Thank you.
Guys, I need to step away from just a second. I got to get myself a bottle of water, and Delilah needs down.
Chris, a unified front squashes rumors together. That's all I am stating.
Okay, Chris.
This is a rumor floating around, and I would like us to squash it.
Yeah, I think that is a great rumor to try to squash. That one's on Facebook, and the rumor is actually that about your mom, her car being parked at like Warsham's, and him getting.
Okay, so here's the answer. The final answer to
It's
this.
not just an online rumor because people have driven up to me and personally spoken about this.
Okay,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, can I make the statement?
I wish
This is very simple. This conversation has nothing to do on social media. You want to have this conversation, Seth? You call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone.
That's fine.
Hell, I'll do you one better, and I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
We're not going to have a powwow like that, but I would
Well, then guess what?
the situation, and I would love for it to be private because I believe a lot of what is happening right now should not be public.
I
So
agree.
explain to me why you don't want Bobby and Carter involved.
I didn't say I didn't want Bobby and Carter involved. I said I was referring to your tone, which is very angry.
Oh, I'm very pissed.
I know that. I think we just all need to take a breath because no one is accusing anyone of anything. We are trying to dispel
So
things.
there's a
Because in
rumor.
turn, dispelling these things will
You're
take
so full of
some
shit.
of the BS off of you.
Whoa. That was uncalled for.
Dispelling these things will
You're
take
so full of
some of
shit.
the BS off of you.
Whoa. That was uncalled for.
Talking about somebody's behavior.
And Chris, I mean, I do understand your anger, but I know these ladies. I don't know Seth. I just know what I've seen. But these ladies are not full of shit.
I didn't say they're full of shit. I was referring to Seth being full of shit with his comments.
Ooh.
Well, that doesn't help matters.
No, it doesn't. So when you brought him on the show and he wants to start this shit, that isn't going to answer questions. It's going to spiral into the shit that's in. So we can set this shit aside and answer the question.
Don't you guys feel if he would have just said, no, that's a ridiculous rumor, that all of this would have just been settled? You know? If he would have just said, yes, I have heard the rumor myself. We all know, including you, Seth, that this is bullshit. That would have just settled the problem right there. But he never wanted to answer the question. He wanted to condemn the people that are asking it. And it wasn't Seth. I mean, Seth is the one that asked it to him. But we all know that we heard those rumors ourselves through social media, predominantly one particular channel at the time when they were attacking Chris and Katie before they got their feelings hurt over Seth and decided to make it an all-out Seth hate campaign when he has the only confirmed alibi with witnesses.
Questions that you got.
Okay. I would like to move on very quickly, but I will say the public opinion is not going to improve unless we can take a deep breath.
Amen.
That's exactly right.
And I know you are frustrated.
You have no idea what
I'm
I
not
am.
saying I know
You
how
don't.
frustrated you are, but I know you are frustrated, and I am not.
So I believe Seth's questions were geared around Sebastian. I haven't really heard of any. I still want to know when this person's feelings and opinions about what other people's opinions of them subside so they can advocate for this missing child.
Saying that's not valid, but this is not helping.
If it's not helping, then you shouldn't be talking about it on social media.
But
I'm
here's,
trying
As a
to,
PI,
Dispelling rumors is actually helping social media. Dispelling rumors is actually helping social media, because by failing to, especially something that doesn't go to the integrity of the investigation, it can breed a life of its own here on social media. We don't really engage too much in rumors. Occasionally, if there's a rumor that's, being passed around, so to speak, we may bring it up, but we always let people know it's a rumor, and whether or not we've had an opportunity to fact check the rumor. And if we have not, it ends there. If we have, we explain to our audience what we found out and whether or not we were able to debunk it or confirm it. In some cases, we can't do either.
you should have said, you know what, we're not going to answer that question. We're going to do that privately. That's where that should
I
have
did
went.
say that actually several times.
You did.
Listen to that recording later.
So let's move on to the next question.
I just got to say one thing. You want the public's help. You want them to be behind both of you. And
we need them to find Sebastian.
exactly. And it's a very good chance that somebody in the public will find
that's
him.
my biggest frustration is that we all collectively have to deal with all of this instead of focusing on Sebastian.
Right, and it's a disadvantage to Sebastian. Really, it's sad because we're not any closer to finding him as long as we're all arguing like this.
Yeah. And mods in chat, you're removing these comments, I hope, because I've been removing some too, and we've got extra people, extra mods in chat. Anything rude that said, they're banned, they're gone. Okay? So we'll get them out there as quickly as possible. And let me go through chat really quickly here to get some more questions here. You've been on here for many hours, and I so appreciate this. I really, really do. So,
Can Chris hear me?
yes, you can.
Can you, well, you can't throw us in a back room so we can talk real quick.
I wish I could. I wish I had that ability, but I don't. I can take you both off, and you can call him. Do you want to do that?
Let's finish this first, and we'll do that after.
Wow. For somebody that didn't want this public. Interesting.
For the fact. Let's get these questions out of the way.
Chris, listen, you may not like my opinion, but when we got rumors out there, when you and I squash these rumors, then they stop being rumors and everybody just looks at
Amen.
the people who are spreading them like they are shit. I was not trying to upset you. I'm trying to squash these stupid rumors that are literally filling up my privatized email address, their inbox, with crap. Which is crap. It's not helping find Sebastian, so if it gets squashed, then people will stop. Not everybody. Lord knows there's still going to be stupid people out there. But it will stop. It will, I mean, literally, it will stop.
The reason why Truth in Time, in my opinion, I'm not speaking for Seth in the slightest. He can speak for himself, but just in my opinion, I think he was truly trying to get some of these rumors squashed and trying to open a pathway forward for him and the stepfather to work together on this. And as you see, he was met with a lot of disdain and vitriol, and it was just, I think he was really trying to get stuff squashed. I don't think this was to club the stepfather over the head in the least little bit. I just think that he was trying to resolve some much needed issues that were plaguing at this point the case. this was still 2 months in, so a lot of people were still digging and making a lot of connections in the family. That stuff was plastered all over social media and multiple Facebook groups and everything else. And some of these things, grew legs and started walking, so to speak, because people were really believing that it was possible for this child to be with a family member. I don't know if that possibility has ever left many people's minds. It's one of the theories that we have collectively as a team. You guys know my theory related to the stuff that I've done and what I think truly happened. This is bringing, but I had original theories at the very beginning that I dismissed because we were under the impression that this father was, or stepfather rather, was in Memphis. And now we're learning from Silver's on the Scene that this may have been a 4-day weekend for this person. So it's causing even more issues now, in my opinion, than it did at this time when this was recorded back in late April.
My report is real simple, Seth.
If you find Sebastian, Chris, and there are rumors out there that we have to put an end to. You may not like them, but we have to put them into them publicly. Because right here, we can end rumors. So people know. When I told them to fuck off, if they didn't like it, they know that I meant fuck off because they don't like it.
So stop right there, Seth. Stop.
And remember, when he made that stand to try to get the family working back together, remember, that's when the change happened. And it was at the direction of the stepfather. We want to work together and people don't like me, I guess, is something that they were communicating, or something to that effect from my understanding. And they wanted to resolve some of the issues. That was a demand of the stepfather to resolve some of these issues. So they could work together, because according to the understanding of the conversation, they basically stated everybody that was following Seth didn't really like them. And so Seth made a bold statement for the benefit of his son, to tell everybody that had followed him, I'm going to be working with them for the benefit of my son. And if you have a problem with it, F off. And it had this uproar where all of that was twisted and turned about him losing his stuff and telling his strongest supporters, which I was one of the strong supporters of Sebastian. I didn't take offense to it because I'm not here for Seth or the other side. I'm here for Sebastian. Unfortunately, the leads lead where they lead, and I can't change that.
Let me help you with something real quick. You want rumors to die? You want to stop with all the stuff that's coming up and flooding these PI's inbox? How many terabytes do you want of videos where you have gone out there and you've said some very harsh things that should never have come out?
I doubt it's terabytes, but it definitely wasn't revealing that a child likes to urinate and defecate on themselves. That didn't come from Seth.
You never should have. And now, don't take this the wrong way. That is a conversation for later. Let me finish.
Things that I put out there.
Once again, you can't talk to a fucking log.
Wow.
Okay,
Chris,
Let me finish.
Chris, that's not productive.
It's not. So let me finish.
So for the people that forgot about what brought us to this point.
Oh, we're playing one-sided here.
No, we're not.
I don't think that's fair.
So then tell Seth when I'm talking, let me finish.
Okay, Seth, let him finish.
Yes, Seth, please let him finish.
There's conversations you've had that should have never been out in the public light, and you know it. And because you did that, it started a lot of rumors. Own it, accept it, and move on from it. I told you on Sunday. I told you, right? It sounds very authoritarian.
let's bring out fact from fiction. This person that's speaking with this authority, telling and commanding all these people, is not any relation to this child, other than marrying the mother. Is not the biological mother and not the biological father, yet this person is commanding what can be said and done from both the actual parents, which is a little alarming to me. How would you feel if your ex-significant other's partner did this to you when your child is missing, telling you about yourself and what you need to be doing? Somebody that's not even related to this child, and based upon one of the comments in here, had said some terrible things to the child. Just
supported you. I would be there for you no matter what, how ugly this.
Oh, let's listen to that. And let's fact find that.
You did that. It started a lot of rumors. Own it, accept it, and move on from it. I told you on Sunday, I supported you. I would be there for you no matter what, how ugly this got.
Wow. I don't believe that to be a true statement, just on its face, because Seth is on this panel right now talking about how long it takes to get a response back and whatnot. We definitely know now that we're close to 7 months into this, or 8 months into this case rather, that that is definitely didn't hold water.
But I'm not going to stand by and watch you disrespect me, my family, my wife, or anybody for that matter. A lot of rumors got started because you went on social media and you opened your mouth and said some things.
Do you believe that's why the rumors got started? Because I'm sorry, from my purview, it's just the opposite, to be honest with you. A lot of these speculations and rumors didn't come from Seth's time on the internet, in my opinion, but rather a lot of these rumors came from the interview they did on Smiley's World, including the belt incident.
You shouldn't have said, accept it. I'll show you the videos.
You don't just show me gifts.
Now, in hindsight, that is a conversation you and I need to have offline, away from everybody else, in our own private conversation. You and I, we sit down and we can talk. Literally, Lise, you had people watch us doing it Sunday at that vigil.
Well,
They were snapping.
Was that really a conversation? Because I didn't see a whole lot of conversation. Just to get back to you, I got the text message. It'll be a little bit longer.
Pictures because they were trying to get some juicy information.
Trish,
So let's answer.
can we move on to the question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's. There's a question here in chat, and I've heard this. And Chris, this is a good one. I'd like to clear up.
Okay.
Is it true?
Guys, give me just a second. Let me just take care of this telephone call real quick. We're back. We're back. Sorry, guys. We're back. We're back. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Let's get back to this. Hold on. Let me just go back just a little second. I had to take that call. Sorry.
Move on to the question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's. There's a question here in chat, and I've heard this. And Chris, this is a good one. I'd like to clear up.
Okay.
Is it true that Chris told Seth, "You will find your son at church"?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's
What he stated was if I went to church, maybe I'd find my son.
so. In other words, if you went to church and talked to the Lord, is that what you were saying, Chris?
Yes, that is what the whole conversation in reference was.
Woo! That's a little, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I mean, that could be taken in a multitude of ways. Again, another reason why people bite on these things that are said. And I'm interested to find the justification behind it or what his answer is. But when you tell somebody to go to church to find their loved one, it typically means to speak to them. It means, in my opinion, like afterlife, that's not a comfortable thing as a parent of a missing child. You want to hear from someone.
Okay.
No.
That's
what he stated was if I went to church, maybe I'd find my son.
So in other words, if you went to church and talked to the Lord, is that what you were saying,
yes,
Chris?
That is what the whole conversation in reference was.
I have a question for
you go to a church and you'll find it.
Oh, hold on, Seth. I'm sorry, Chris, finish. I'm sorry.
I'm talking because why? I understand. I see where people got that.
Right.
But that is a conversation that Seth and I had privately. I'm sorry, but we're not going to sit here and drag certain things into this. It has nothing to do with it. I told Seth.
This has nothing to do with it. Love that response all the time.
Basically, we should all go to church. We should pray. That's exactly what it was in reference to.
Understood. Seth, go ahead. It's your turn now.
There's a better way to say it, Chris.
Okay, and that's semantics.
For you to think that I don't go to church.
Seth, I didn't say anything about you not going to church or going to church. Can we go to the next question?
Sebastian?
No, it's not. Can we move to the next question?
All right. Thank you.
Okay. How about this? Because you guys have been on here for almost 3 hours, and I really appreciate it. And I do think Chris and Seth need to talk off air. Let's talk about what we do know. We do know, and this is how we started out the live stream. We do know that Sebastian was last seen publicly at Texas Roadhouse on Sunday. We know he was seen on camera taking out the garbage at some point. We know that there is a possibility that the cameras did not pick up Seth leaving the house because it was so dark.
Sebastian.
I'm sorry. What did I say? I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Seth. I'm sorry. You're not missing Seth. You're right here. Sebastian.
I like to be missing.
Yeah, I understand. I hear you. Sebastian was not seen. A possibility that Sebastian was not seen leaving the house because it was too dark. Okay. There were certain scent dogs that hit on Sebastian. There were 3 of them that went down to the retaining pond. According to Chloe, that retaining pond has been searched.
It was actually been drained and it has been walked and searched.
Okay, so that's good. I think that's what we know about that night and the hours before he went missing. I think that's all we know for certain. Now, I want to ask all of you, what is the next step? Chloe and Heather, I'll go to you two first, and then I'll go to the two gentlemen.
I'm sorry, my dog was barking. What did you say?
That's okay. I said, what is the next step? What is the next step for you? What is the next step for the public? What would you like us to do? What do you think you guys are going to do?
Well, for us right now, we are really focused on getting Q in. Chloe and I are working on a report and some maps to try to give them an idea of areas that need to be searched or researched. And I think really the next big step is getting us all on the same page and working together.
Mm-hmm.
And even though this is a mess right now, I think this is a huge step in that direction. And I'm hoping that, as I said, Chris had called me earlier and just right before the show started, and I messaged Chloe and was kind of talking to her about what you guys were going to talk about, because I wanted to, some of the things that he cleared up with me, I wanted to make sure she was aware of.
Mm-hmm.
But, reaching out to me and then reaching out to you guys on the podcast tonight, I think it's a huge step in the right direction. He's angry, but once we get past that, I think maybe we can all work together and start putting our heads together on where we need to look for Sebastian.
Thank you. Very good. Chris, what would you like to see us do? What do you think?
At this point, keep spreading the flyers. Keep keeping his name out there and of good graces, not of in a negative light. Spread the words. If you know something, say something. Don't wait 2 weeks. Don't wait 3 weeks. I
Right.
told Heather the same thing. There's so many tips that come in weeks later instead of the moment that they come in. When you get these tips, you call 911, you call TBI, you don't call these PIs, you don't call Seth, you don't call us, you just call the law enforcement agency. Keep spreading the
We prefer the Memphis FBI location office.
flyers, spreading the word, prayers. Trust me, keep the prayer warriors out there. We need them.
Thank
I
you.
agree, and I think because of all of the noise, people have not been reminded to continuously search their properties. And like I said before, everybody else came on here. There's a lot of really large properties in the area, and the terrain is treacherous in a lot of areas, and things get missed. So I think it's important to center it back to the local level, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
because this has become national, and nationally people are giving their opinions. We need the community to come back together and search their acres and acres of property, because I believe he could be very close to home.
Mm-hmm. There you
Now, I
go.
will say this much, that everything she said is exactly the same thing law enforcement's been pushing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not comfortable searching, call law enforcement. They, I'm sure, can work in getting a team out there to search the property. Please, everybody that's searching, do not. I can't stress this enough. Please do not just walk on private property without having prior permission. Please.
By the way, there's comments in chat and we're removing them. Chris has been searching. Okay, he has been searching. Just because you don't see him searching, because you personally don't see him, doesn't mean he's not searching. So that needs to stop. Okay, that needs to stop right now. And Seth, what do you feel the final word should be?
I need people to keep the faith. I need people to keep faith that we will find Sebastian. I don't know. I don't know what people's mindset are right now, but it doesn't need to be about me. It doesn't need to be about Chris. It needs to be about Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was filmed on April 27th, so it was 2 months and a day after his disappearance.
Sebastian is the goal. Sebastian is what is lost.
Thank you, Elser.
Sebastian is what used to be found.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
We have one parent screaming to high heaven and another parent broken into tears. It's upsetting for me.
Sorry.
That's going to be easier for me.
I am so sorry.
My son is missing. I need
Thank you,
people
Melanie.
to continue with the flyers, as Chris said.
Mm-hmm.
BBI has already stated that most of their tips do come in from flyers. I have
Sorry, I gotta get the dog treats.
Okay.
I have 100% faith that the humanity that still exists out here, that we can come together, heads up, eyes open, see something, say something. Contact FBI, contact TBI, call 911 for your local. Tell them that, you think you just saw the missing child from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Get them on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At the same point in time, if you feel that they're not doing it, you just fix it. Law enforcement is short-handed. All it takes for evil things to exist is good men do nothing, and that's good females too. I'm not. It's just for evil that exists and continue is good people they do nothing.
Right.
Don't fall into the simplicity. on your way to work, on your way to the corner store, on your way to Walmart. You might see my son.
Absolutely
You might see
right.
him, and I need you to say something. I need you to call 911 immediately. If you're not in Sumner County, I need you to call 911. After you call 911, call TBI, so that way they know that 911 has already been called. I have found that law enforcement groups do not communicate with each other, and I don't mean this as a negative, but I mean this as a Facebook lead came through, and I called Lebanon, which is here in Tennessee, and they didn't even know that my son was missing.
Oh, jeez.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
I will second that was said. There's a lot of people
They
out there
didn't communicate.
that don't know locally.
Right. They don't communicate, and they need to. They absolutely need to.
Well, I'm not saying communicating. I'm just agreeing
It's a
that he is
short-handed.
saying that there's a lot
Not
of
everybody
folks.
gets the information that is necessary. Somebody forgets to do a pass down, and the next officer on duty doesn't get the information that he needs. So he doesn't even know. It's not his fault. The officer before him could have been working a 16, or have even been working more than a 16, which is illegal. But we still have to have law enforcement out there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I just need everybody to work together. The rumors are killing it. The rumors are killing people's time. And that's the one thing Sebastian doesn't have.
Right.
So if you've already called TBI with your information, but you think it might be a rumor because you heard it from Joe Blow down the fucking road, you're not helping find my son. You're part of the problem. People out there listening that are doing the death threats, I will see you at my door. You're going to sit there and pick on people. You're a coward. You are a coward. And if somebody has my son, understand that I love him. And I need him back.
Mm-hmm.
I need him back. Not that I want him back. It's I need. Because my life has stopped. Because
Seth,
my son is not here. And I find it hard to function.
can you ladies get him
A
a hold of
regular
me?
life without my son here.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Seth.
What did you say? Go ahead, Chris.
Right. Seth, I know what you're doing and I understand the plea, but hang tight, man. You and I we need to get off this panel. You, me, Katie, PIs need to get on a phone call.
Absolutely.
Not on here. Our message is simple. Find Sebastian, you see it, you say something, you call it in. Don't wait. Don't go down this track, man. Don't. I'm looking out for you. Don't.
Can I just say one thing? I don't want to ever discourage people from reaching out with information that they think might be pertinent. Now, getting the same tip 100 times from everybody on social media, just sending the screenshot, did you see this? And we've already seen it 500 times. I mean, that's a little excessive, but I don't ever want people to think like, oh, this might not be important, because that might be the one tip that actually was important.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a different message to send. I don't want anybody to feel discouraged. Please reach out to us. Please reach out to PBI. Do not keep anything silent because you don't think it's
Absolutely.
important.
And I wanted to reiterate, like I get a ton of messages, and even if I do not respond to you, that doesn't mean I haven't looked at it, and that doesn't mean I'm not looking at it.
All right, I think that's just pretty much it. We're down to like literally the last 10 minutes, and I'll review it to see if anything else needs to come back on. But for right now, our show has been going on for forever, but you guys got all We had to break it down into 3 shows because I got jammed up. I hit a wrong button and it wouldn't let me back to my live. My live on the other channel, or on this channel earlier, is still running, and it won't let me even cancel it or end it or anything. So this is where we're at today. This is the interview we had. I thought this was enlightening. We're going through all the interviews that were provided and given by all parties. So I'm not going to really make an opinion on it because I'm not allowed to, according to Sumner County. And, just want to be on the right side of things because I feel like I'm walking into the lion's den, as I always do when I go to court, which I'm going to be back into court on November 20th. So we're just going to go with our commentary and questions because I can't get in trouble for that. But according to them, I probably will. We'll see. We'll see. You guys know how I feel about the area. You guys know how I feel about what I'm going through. And we have the GoFundMe that's up. And I just want to thank all of the warmth and love and support that you guys are giving that GoFundMe. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so very much for everything that you guys are doing for this cause. What happened to me is unfair, but we all know if it can happen to me, it'll happen to somebody else if it hasn't already. And we need to make sure that this is very clear for the court record and for Tennessee as a whole moving forward. So thank you guys for the love and support, and I'm sorry we're all going through this, but we are. And hopefully there will be a ray of sunshine at the end of this long, very problematic journey that I find myself walking. So you guys have an amazing Tuesday. God bless you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, be kind to thy neighbor. And if you are a nasty person, today's a great day to be a better one. God bless.